Okay, this video is to show you the Canvas Path Tools activity. So here at our first screen, we're going to select Illustration, and our new page will come up. What we'll need to do is we're going to practice using the Polygon tool. So we'll go here to this toolbox. We're going to go to this button here, and we're going to select the Polygon tool. So we'll click that, and the directions ask us to draw some object here using the Polygon tool. So I'm going to change some of these colors around, and it asks us to click somewhere in the white space and create an anchor point. That's the starting point right there. And as we click, it will continue to make these shapes based on where we click. When you're finished and you have something drawn like this, you can either double click or you can press escape on the keyboard. I like to press escape. So once you do that, there should be a box around the outside of your shape here. Next, you're able to change the colors if you need to. You can go back into the presets palette here and choose a different color for the fill or a different color for the line around the outside. So you can change those. So once you have done that, then we will delete this shape. So I'll make sure it's highlighted here, it's selected, and I'll press delete on the keyboard. We'll go back to our polygon tool, and we're going to make something that looks like number 6 in your book. Looks like a mountain range. So I'm going to go ahead and click those and continue clicking until I have a few mountains, and press escape. And then I'm going to draw a sun behind those mountains. So I'm going to have no line color, and I'll have a fill color, yellow. And I'll draw my circle there. And I want my circle to be behind my mountains, my sun behind the mountains. So I'm going to right click on my sun, arrange, and I'm going to send it back behind the mountains. So number 7 is what you see here on your screen. The next step, it asks us to smooth those mountains. So if we have a jagged shape like this, we can smooth it. So if I click on those mountains and I go up to Path and select Smooth, I can smooth those lines out if I don't like them to be pointy. So that's the modified mountains, more like a hill. Okay, so step number 9, we're going to draw some objects using the freehand tool. So I'm going to go back into this menu here. And the freehand tool is the one with the pencil, and it has a little dashed line next to it. So we can draw things freehand, and we'll end up with some sort of shape that's freehand drawn. Instead of straight lines connecting and then forming the mountains, you can also draw like that. So you can practice using that tool to make different things. It says you can make fish for your lake, bird, airplane in the sky. You practice using that tool to draw things as well, and then it will form a solid shape when you're finished. So I'm going to try to draw some. I don't want that. I'm going to draw some clouds here. Okay, so you can draw some different shapes, try different things, practice using the tool and seeing how that works. So number 10, you'll draw a flower using the auto curve tool. So we're going to go ahead and put that down here. If you don't have space, you can move stuff around. So we can use the selection tool here, and we can select some of these things and move them out of our way. So we have a little bit more space down below or above, whichever. So we're going to draw our flower using the auto curve tool. So we click on the auto curve tool and click in the drawing area to place the first anchor point. So we're going to go and click on the auto curve tool right here in the menu. So we'll click that, and what we'll do is we're going to click our first anchor point, and we'll set our second anchor point, and then you click a third anchor point, and what it will do is it will automatically curve that line based on where those points are. So you can click and it curves at each of those points. So we start here, click once, click a second time, click a third time, and it will make a curve based on all those points. So we can make a curved shape if we'd like. We can also go in and we can edit those curves, and we can modify that if that's not the shape we exactly want. So we'll need to pick the selection tool, and we can change those shapes if need be, so we can get exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to have our flower. We're going to need to make more parts for it. So we're going to repeat these same steps in order to make a few more petals for our flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and click and make more shapes here. Doesn't need to be perfect. We're just practicing. So if our shape ends up a little messy, that's okay. So like we're doing here, we could always modify those points if things don't look exactly the way we want. We can go in and we can modify those and change things to make it look the way we want. So go in, make petals smaller, make them bigger. Okay, so let's say we're finished. We get something halfway decent. So now we'll need to add a circle in the middle. So we'll use our oval tool, and I'll pick a different color here. Pick the light purple. I'll put a circle in the middle, and we'll need to use the freehand tool to create a stem and some other leaves. So I'm going to move these shapes up a little bit. I can actually shrink them if I need to as well, so I can fit everything in like that. And then I'll use my freehand tool, and we can make some more shapes. So I want my stem, I'll make it green, make a stem, and we'll make some leaves. Move that over just a little bit. Again, it's not going to be perfect if you're doing it quickly, but if you take your time, it turns out much better. So each time you finish a shape, you got to go back and select that tool again so it knows that you want to use that. Okay, so now we made a flower, which is made with separate parts. So now we are going to make a new flower this time with the petals as all one object. So we're not going to make separate petals. So at the center of the flower, we're going to use the oval tool and then select the center of the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these so I got room on my screen. So I'm going to keep my oval here. And I'm going to select the center of the flower. So if you click the right way, you'll get the center tool come up. It takes a little bit of